Hello guys, welcome to Mental Health Check-in. I am Uncle Nurse, a mental health nurse clinician, and this is a space where we talk honestly about what happens beneath the surface. In this space, we have honest conversation about mental health based on clinically grounded insights, and we use practical tools for emotional regulation. So if you're seeing me for the first time, don't go anywhere because what we're going to be discussing today is very interesting, and I believe you and everybody around you will benefit from this. Now, we're talking about why your mind won't stop overthinking. This is the topic we'll be talking about today, and I think you should know what we want to achieve at the end of this discussion. Firstly, we want to help our listeners to understand why overthinking happens. Then, we want to understand what is happening or what's going on in your brain, what's doing your brain to overthink, then how you can interrupt this cycle. All right, so first of all, what does overthinking looks like? Overthinking is when you keep replaying conversations in your mind. You keep imagining worst case scenario. You keep second guessing your decisions, and it's a situation whereby you find it difficult to shut off your mind or shut your mind off a particular topic. Many people think overthinking is just thinking too much, but in mental health, overthinking is often a symptom of anxiety or an emotional hyper awareness. Ask yourself, do you overplay or do you replay conversations hours later? Do you analyze small mistakes repeatedly? Does your brain stay active when you try to sleep? Now, if your answer is yes to any of these, your brain may be stuck in rumination loop. We're going to talk about what that means. The big question is, what is overthinking? Overthinking simply means ruminating about the past, worrying about the future, mentally attempting to control uncertainty. Now, the brain believes that thinking more will create safety, but instead, it often increases stress. Why does your brain overthink? The simple answer is that your brain is trying to protect you. Now, the brain is a prediction machine actually. So it actually scans for threats. And when there's uncertainty, your brain triggers this rehearsal method, or it goes into this rehearsal mode where you start to rehearse, things over and over again. And the brain believes that thinking will create safety, like I said before, but instead, thinking increases stress. Now let's look at the anxiety loop that I mentioned in the past. Now the anxiety loops is when you start having this habit, your overthinking becomes a habit. Now when uncertainty appears, the brain starts searching for answers. It cannot find answers. The thoughts multiplies because the brain cannot find answers. Your anxiety increases because the brain cannot find answers. Then more thinking follows. Now, like I said before, the anxiety loop reinforces itself. The brain keeps searching for answers in a state of uncertainty, and anxiety multiplies because of multiple thoughts. Your thinking, more thinking follows, and your brain believes that thinking more will reduce uncertainty. But like I said, it only increases stress. How does overthinking affect your nervous system? Now, you have to know that overthinking is a response to stress, and when there is hyperactivity in the nervous system, there is tendency that cortisol will be released in your body or into your bloodstream, and it will be difficult for the individual to stay calm. Now, we have to know that when the nervous system is activated, the brain will definitely stay alert. Overthinking will now become the mind's way of staying vigilant in situations. So how do you know that you are overthinking a situation or you are stuck overthinking? Now, first of all, you have difficulty making decisions. This is very, very important. Now, you have mental exhaustion. You're exhausted mentally. You have trouble sleeping. Many people stay up at night thinking situations over and over again. There's a persistent worry where you start worrying about issues that you don't have solution to, or you don't have little or no impact or contribution to. Overthinking creates the illusions of control, but it often produces emotional fatigue. People overthink because they think that they should have control of every situation. All right. So the next we talk about these tools we're going to be using to help manage this overthinking. Number one is thought awareness. It's very important you put this down. And if you're seeing me for the first time, follow for more mental health tips so we could talk about things that happen in your brain. So thought awareness is noticing pattern. Ask yourself, is this problem solvable right now? Can I solve this problem right now? Am I analyzing or actually solving? Am I just overanalyzing this situation, or am I solving this situation? Can I solve it, or am I just analyzing it for analyzing sake? Awareness interrupts. When you have this awareness, it actually interrupts automatic thinking loop. Remember, we talk about the anxiety loop. So it actually avoids you going to the anxiety loop if you actually have this awareness. Now, the second tool is the 5 minute rule. It's very important. Set your timer. Set the timer into 5 minutes. Then you write down everything you are thinking about. So you put your timer for 5 minutes. Within that 5 minutes, you write down everything you are thinking about. Then you close the notebook or you close the notepad, whatever you're using. Now, this technique I am actually analyzes thoughts and stop mental recycling. So because you have put that everything in your head in your book, now it helps to do what? Externalize that thought. You now see the thoughts, you read about them, then it helps your it helps to stop mental cycling. I don't know if you are getting what I'm trying to say, but you can practicalize these tools. The first one is awareness, the second one is talking about the 5 minute rule. All right, so the third tool is the shifting to the body rule tool. All right, so to interrupt overthinking, the third thing to do is to slow breathing. I think most times we talk about this. You have to slow breathing, then you walk for 5 minutes, then you stretch your body, very important, and this helps to regulate the body and helps calm the mind. All right, so this is a third tool that you can actually use for to help stop overthinking, shifting to the body. Just practically, just like exercising, walking, and all that, it can help you actually shift the thoughts out, help you relax, and help you shift the thoughts. All right. So your brain is not broken, actually. I need you to know that overthinking doesn't mean that your brain is broken. It's your brain just trying to protect you, like we said, is the brain trying to see how they can actually solve one problem that they cannot actually solve at that time. But protecting can become overprotection because of the brain trying to protect you. It tends to end up overprotecting you. So the goal isn't for you to stop thinking. Now it's for you to actually reduce or how to control how you think. So it's to stop believing that every thought deserve attention. Not every thought that comes into your mind that you have to pay attention to. That is the goal. So it's not for you to stop thinking. It's actually for you to know that it is not every thought that actually comes into your mind deserve you paying attention to it. Now, if this episode actually resonates to you, I would like you to actually share this with someone close to you, and follow this page on Facebook, also on TikTok, also follow us on Instagram so you can be getting updates whenever we post something new. Remember, awareness is the first step towards mental regulation. Did I see it again? I see the men on. Please stay safe.